In the Mauritanian capital of Nouakchott, Cotton asked an escaped slave why her master won't relinquish 5 of her children. "Because my belly belongs to my master," the woman replies. Seeing his brothers and sisters in bondage had a profound effect on Cotton, a PhD candidate at Columbia University, who in 1995 established the New York-based Coalition Against Slavery in Mauritania and Sudan. It didn't hit me until I landed back in Senegal. I broke down and wept and didn't get out of bed for 3 days, he says. It is almost like I went back in time. The results of Cotton's labor was evident one afternoon in the basement of a Brooklyn senior citizen center, where he was invited to screen a rough cut of the film. The screening was little publicized, poorly organized, and only about 20 people showed up. Cotton was disappointed. But when he rose to introduce his film, his voice took on an intensity that spread throughout the seedy room. It was the voice of a man with a purpose. I stay alive by being primitive. I don't expect anybody to help me, assist me, or do anything else, he said, as someone fiddled with the projector. This film is a knee-jerk response to human injustice. Haratines are not the only Mauritanians in dire straits. Racism confronts other black Africans as well. 5 years ago, about 70,000 black Africans were expelled or fled the country after clashes with encroaching Arabs and the Muslim government over land. The U.S. Department says there were extrajudicial killings of blacks. Mansour Kane, who had risen to lieutenant in the Army's Officers Corps during a 9-year military career, was jailed for 5 months during the investigation of an alleged 1990 coup attempt. When he is asked about how he was treated, there was a long pause before he answers. It is impossible for someone to tell you what happened in this jail. In my own language, I can describe it, he says with a heavy French accent. He vaguely mentions regular beatings on every part of his body and people being buried alive at the hands of the Haratines, directed by Arab superiors. I don't know if he showed you his back, his friend Ba says later. We say we only live once, but he lives twice. He was dragged by a truck across rocks. His whole back is gone. He was dead and came back alive. 541 of his fellow soldiers weren't so lucky. Freed, thanks to pressure from the United States and French governments, Kane fled to the United States, leaving a wife and children behind. Now he is bent on justice. I cannot enjoy life one bit if there are people who are not free. Like the prophet says, even if they put the sun in my right hand, I will keep going. Perhaps more amazing than the existence of slavery is the ignorance of Americans about it. Until recently, the vast majority of black American public figures have not been privy to this, says Randall Robinson, president of the lobbying group Trans-Africa. We have tried for years to get the attention of mainstream media, but the media doesn't give much coverage to a continent of 642 million people that even most blacks treat as one country. And if newspapers and televisions are not interested in covering an epic conflict like the Sudanese Civil War, which has claimed 1.3 million more lives than the war of the former Yugoslavia, politicians are not interested either. Of the 40 members of the CBC, currently Chairman Donald Payne is the only one who has truly been active in this issue. It's difficult to get them to focus on something that you don't see in the press, says Payne, who has introduced a bill to impose economic sanctions in the Sudan if its human rights records doesn't improve. Payne says that as coverage of slavery increases, members are asking more about the whole question. One prominent leader who is remained conspicuously silent on slavery is Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam. In the past, Farrakhan has expressed skepticism that slavery exists in Sudan. Where is the proof? He asked at a news conference in Washington in March. Two reporters from the Baltimore Sun took up the challenge and traveled to Sudan, where they purchased 2 young slaves and returned them to their father. If there is slavery in Sudan, Farrakhan said in a speech at a Brooklyn church, I haven't seen it. He did have a rare opportunity to visit that country in February, where he met with the national military commander, General Omar Hassan al-Bashir, and Islamic activist Hassan Turabi, who is considered the de facto leader of the Sudan. James Muhammad, editor-in-chief of the Nation of Islam newspaper, the final call says Mr. Farrakhan has challenged the Sudanese government to open up the CBC or delegations of journalists from black papers who could go into all areas of the country unobstructed. He said the government dismissed the charges against them as an effort to destabilize their regime, and so far no such delegation has been admitted. Minister Louis Farrakhan does not condone slavery anywhere, Mohammed emphasizes, not in the Sudan, Mauritania, or America. Some explain Farrakhan's stance is simple economics. He is creating alliances with the Islamic world for both financial and religious support. Yet the sponsor of the Million Man March embracing a government that enslaves blacks is incomprehensible to people like Sam Cotton. Searching out slavery requires hunting, Sam says. Not showing up at dinner with a murderer and sleeping in his house and ask him if he killed your people. The fact that the nation will say this to African American people either means that they are not aware of their ignorance or are very aware of the ignorance of their audience. Ironically, Farrakhan has probably done more to publicize the plight of the African slaves than the tireless Sam Cotton. Given the mainstream media's eagerness to castigate Farrakhan, his ambivalence on slavery has generated numerous articles that have reached millions of people, far more than we'll ever see Mauritania, the Arab slave trade, 1996. The people making these accusations that Minister Farrakhan somehow condones slavery are opportunists, says Muhammad. Whenever black people have made a move for independence, those forces that want to continue the status quo condemn and come after that person. The context of this argument on slavery in the Sudan fits this whole scenario like a glove. But one way or another, the truth will be exposed. We are sending a call to all those who can help throughout the world. A free woman named Huleye Sal in Cotton's film says, we ask them to help us. We demand justice. That is what we ask for today and tomorrow, unquote. Check out this documentary, people. It's entitled Mauritania, the Arab Slave Trade, 1996. So, that is why the Sunnis in America today dress like Christians, and you can't tell the difference between the two. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabians are traveling around the world, hanging in bars, chasing prostitutes, and getting drunk. This is the plot of the Wahhabi sect of Saudi Arabia. The Pakistani who brought Orthodox Sunni Islam to the United States wanted to propagate it everywhere and were not under the pact, this pact. They financed educated men who had knowledge of the Arabic language like Imam Rashad Khalifa, PhD, and Dr. Jamal Badwi from Egypt to come to the United States to teach. The Saudis had to stop this also. There are too many Nubians converting to Islam all over the country. Everybody from Orientals, Latinos, Caribbeans are joining Islam. And America is telling Saudi Arabia that they, America, are losing their workforce to Islam. The American converts are pledging allegiance to a flag from another country while in America. So America is saying to Saudi Arabia, either you take them to Saudi with you or turn them back to Christians, or we will not allow you to invest in the United States anymore. This is what it is all about. The Saudi Arabian government is making Orthodox Sunni Muslim converts their pawns and playing a big game with the American government, which will cost you your soul. The Orthodox Sunni Muslims in America don't have true Al-Islam. They are being spoon-fed a watered-down version so that Saudi Arabia can stay financially secure in America. The Orthodox Sunni Muslims are not working for Al-Unel. They are the Antichrist. Heed these words, my brothers and sisters speaking. Heed these words, my brothers and sisters, and remember that the fake Sunni Muslim religion is like quicksand. The more you resist, the deeper you will sink into it. We will throw you, we will throw you a line of truth. Grab it, grab onto it, and it will save you. If not, you will sink in the quicksand. The Orthodox Sunni Muslims will say that humans are not to hate each other, and that Nubian people and the Canaanite Caucasian beastman are brothers. Now, speaking, I don't want to hate anybody, but I am not a masochist. I'm not a masochist. I don't hate the gun. I don't hate the bullet. I don't hate the gunpowder. But the moment I am shot with a gun and the bullet is in my body and I feel the pain, I hate the pain that the bullet causes. I hate the fact that the combustion of the gunpowder in the bullet gave it the ability to be launched into my body that it can cause this pain or death. Then I hate the gun that has the hammer that triggered the bullet that sparked the gunpowder that sent the lead into my body. Then I hate the hand that held the gun that pulled the trigger. When I look at South Africa, Ethiopia, my homeland Sudan, the South here in America, Somalia, Senegal, what he did in Panama, Grenada, the American Indians, the Japanese, and now to you blacks here in America. And I see what the Canaanite Caucasian beastman does, how he constantly pulls the trigger on us Nubians and inflicts mental as well as physical pain on us in his pursuit to keeping the word dominance in his hands. I cannot help but to hate what he is doing to me. South Africa is really the richest part of the whole planet Earth by the minerals and natural resources that are found there. Yet, the Nubian people there are the poorest on the planet. Why is that? Because some Canaanite Caucasian beastmen decided to go there and take over. Why did they do this, and why doesn't America or Great Britain, France, the pale and red Arabs of Saudi Arabia help? Because if they give South Africa back to the South Africans and we Nubians start to control the mines that are there, the diamond, oil, and platinum mines, and all the natural minerals, we will swiftly become the richest people on the planet. Nature has placed these things there, and in our religion, we understand nature as the father or the mother of everything, which is Allah. The Creator placed these natural minerals there. So the Creator intended for me and you to be the richest people in the world. For example, America could be buying large quantities of oil from Nigeria, but they don't. They purchase it from Saudi Arabia. However, they don't want to because they have no intentions of ever letting people of color rule in their natural places. This is our right because Anu El put these natural resources under my and your feet. So he intended for us to rule, but he also made us in his image and after his likeness. That part of us is our worst enemy. It is our compassion. You don't want to hate because you are just a nice person. It is only the God in you that says, I don't hate the Canaanite Caucasian beast man. You are just a compassionate, kind person in the image of the Creator. What is sad is that the Canaanite Caucasian beast race don't feel the same way. They are still shooting our babies in the streets, not just in America, but all over the world. They go to Kenya and do all kinds of laboratory experiments on us like we are guinea pigs and spread diseases. They lay Ethiopia to waste, and as the people migrated and died by the millions, they truckload 1,000 of them to Israel and said, look what we're doing. The Canaanite Caucasian beast man is petrified by destiny, for it is written that we will inherit the earth. Once we unite, it will be back in our hands. Do I hate the beast man? Let me say this. I hate the hand that pulls the trigger, that hits the hammer against the bullet, that ignites the powder, that sends the lead into the hearts of my people, and won't let us stand up and be counted for what we are. Once we unite with one flag, one declaration, one way of life, and one Creator, the Canaanite Caucasian beast man will fall. He knows this, and he will do anything in his power to stop the Nubian nation from rising. Thus ends today's video. We hope you have learned something from this video, and we urge you to share this video and to subscribe to the only channel where you will learn true ancient Egyptian mysteries. No more lies, no more guesswork. So share, subscribe, click on the like button below, and see you at the next video.